Hello, I'm Marjorie Delaney. This is my YouTube channel. I haven't been on in a while. I haven't been feeling well, so I thought I'm feeling better today. So I'm coming back at you with some of my vegetarian chili. This right now is some frozen tofu that I've put in a pot with a little bit of water and some cut up onions, not necessarily diced, because they'll break down later too. This is going to cook for an hour or more when after we get this browned, because the idea is to get this tofu browned and it's frozen, so it's kind of like you would do with ground beef. So I'm gonna start adding a little bit more oils in here. Right now all I have is a block of tofu and 2 Vidalia onions. And I didn't feel like cutting all that stuff on camera. You know how to cut things. Now a note on here, if you're doing this, what you want to have handy too, so that you want to keep on doing this, because otherwise you'll get sticking at the bottom of the pan. You also want to keep putting water in. Because the idea is to not burn this yet. You want to get this whole block thawed out first. And then you'll be, so just like if you had frozen, let's say you had frozen ground beef, a lot of you might do this technique with your ground beef. So you're just sort of heating it up, breaking it off. This is tofu can be frozen and take on a lot of textures. After it's frozen, it does weirder things. So it'll imitate the texture of ground beef just all that much more. And in case anyone wants to know what they're hearing in the back, that's this past weekend's podcast. Hopefully I won't get demonetized for that. Hopefully I'm ever monetized. I have such a small viewership. I would love to grow it. If you guys could seriously, if you could like and subscribe and share my YouTube thing, that I would really like that. I want to get a little bit of a following. I don't have enough art on here. I don't know why I get more responses with cooking, but that's not why I'm doing this. Friends of mine have been wanting this recipe I have. I don't really have a recipe, but ooh, I need some lotion. I took that nap and I need lotion. Yeah, let's do a before and after with cocoa butter. See? Instant. Just in case you're wondering, cocoa butter is good for your skin. Oh. So soon I'm going to be adding some butter to this to give it some fat. Normally I would do plant butter, but for whatever reason plant butter is not been replaced in the stores yet. I hope to find it maybe next week. Almost there. Alright, I'm going to start adding some other stuff. There we go. So, doing that. I'm gonna add some mushrooms. I really like mushrooms with more savory vegetarian dishes because they give off a meat vibe that people just don't even know. Just chop them up. People who don't like mushrooms, they'll get over it. Because they'll break down. Jesus, I'm gonna set shit on fire. So I'm gonna turn this off, the camera off, and I'm gonna keep on putting the mushrooms in, and then I'll come back. So we're coming back on here. I did a whole pack of just regular white button mushrooms. I've added more water in here because I don't want anything sticking to the bottom. This water is definitely going to boil down. So in the interim, I'm going to add everything in the way of flavoring, except for salt. Because salt you don't put in until the last, because I already have enough water in here. Enough water's been released. I don't feel like I've got some new paprika. Smoked paprika. Definitely want that in there. It's a good flavor to be in there. It smells good. And this is a smoked paprika, so it's a little different smelling than what I'm used to. So we'll do some parsley. And I'm going to leave these out so I can put more in later. This is just for this to boil down. I like oregano in my chili. I'm gonna put in some hot peppers after I get this boiled down. Got some garlic, a lot of that. This is kind of like when I made the taco meat. This is super boring though. You know, guys, I'm just going to keep on adding some onion powder, even though I already have 2 onions in there. Little turmeric for the tummy. Especially want it in like a hot, spicy meal. Put some turmeric in there to help mellow out your tummy. Of course, cayenne. We need cayenne in there. This is spicy chili. If you're spice sensitive, you know my rule. Don't add it. Don't add it. Don't complain. Just don't add it. Ooh, that was a lot of chili powder. It's okay. It's alright. Maybe it's chilly after all. Oh my god. I need more water? Oh shit. Alright. Disaster, disaster. I can say this is not a pan to fry in. It was very stupid of me to do that. It's like the bottom of this is not frying. I need to turn it down. Let me turn it off for a minute. And I'm going to put a stick of butter in there. Not to be all fatty McFatten. But seriously, they did not have plant-based butter in the market. And if they did, that's what I would have used. Ugh. So some basil. Alright, I'm just gonna keep on like cooking this. And I can't really concentrate on cooking if I'm yakking. This is actually kind of labor intensive. I don't know why. It's not like I'm in the mines or something. Alright, I'm gonna add some more vegetables to this. I'm gonna let her melt down. Ideally, if you want my own opinion, if I had redone this, I would have done, and look how great my eyes look now. If I would have washed my dishes, if I would have had a non-stick pan, I think it would have been better to fry up the tofu in that first. That's my own opinion. That's for sure. Because I'm not going to get any caramelization happening because of this technique I use in this pan. It's not good for that. So I don't even want to deal with it. There we go. I mean, it's got the smoked paprika in it, so I guess it doesn't need that. How fast do tomatoes go bad? I can't wait till my tomatoes. I have 2 little tomatoes on my tomato plants. I'm just gonna do it like that. So I'll be having like fresh tomatoes every day. And I'm thinking about like just making some sauces, then freezing, and then I'll have some stuff for the winter. I'm not that big on canning, but I might attempt canning, like, you know. Alright, so we can turn this thing back on. This does smell good. And then I'm gonna get a pepper. One spot. Oh my god. Then I'm going to chop up a red pepper, since I like red peppers. Okay. Ooh, I almost cut myself. Here, let's turn this down. Smell it burning already. God damn it. I just got that fucking bottom cleaned. I hate it when it does this. I hope you cannot hear too much of that podcast because I don't want to get flagged and have my video removed. Let me turn it off. Alright, we're gonna do some more here. I'm worried about the steam rising into my... Fuck. There. So, sorry about that, my storage got low, and I'm trying to, my goal in life now is to keep the bottom of this from getting crusty. So in order to do that, it's going to have to go to low soon. So I've added 1 pepper to that, and now I'm going to add the secret ingredient, which I freaking love in my chili. You can add what you want to yours. But corn, oh my god, frozen corn. Listen, if you want to make this better, a better way to do it is to like char the corn before you do this. But I didn't do that. So it's just going to have to do this now. But that's okay. Another day I'll do like a frying pan deal where like I'm frying up corn and greens and stuff for you to see how like, and mushrooms, and see how like everything will get caramelized. But it's not gonna caramelize on this. It's okay. I don't need it to. Not for it to taste spicy or anything. So I've got it turned down, and this, obviously this corn is going to give off a lot of moisture. A lot of moisture. And then, so what else am I going to add? Well, I mean, listen, I need iron like you would not believe. I've had a tough week of issues, so this is all clean. I'm going to put some spinach in here. This is baby spinach. This will all cook down. You're not going to notice it. There we go. Feel that bottom, man. I feel like this could definitely use some more oil. Oh, it's sticking to the bottom. Now, after I get this cooked down some, I'll add the beans. You can already see the, I don't know if you can see, like the spinach is already wilting and getting to that point. Doing this helps a lot for the this motion helps a lot for the tofu to not be all clumpy and get more of a a beefy texture. But as I said, like, honestly, I really feel like I fucked this up. So, what I'm going to do is another time, I'm going to redo this base so you can see it, like, really, caramelized. I put it in the wrong pan. This pan is for, like, a stew or a soup. It's not for browning. I mean, it's a great new pot. That's why I got it. I wanted to try it out. I'm half tempted to, like, pull out this stuff and then fry it, but I don't. It's past that point right now. Let's bring it to a quick boil. See what happens. Oh, I forgot to add my jalapenos. I like things spicy but not ridiculous, so I'm gonna add 2 jalapenos. Scraping the bottom. Scrape it. This is so fucking messy. Oh. Alright. I know people say take the vein out and it won't be spicy. I'm like, what's the point? What is the point? My mother made shit so spicy in my house. She would go, well, it didn't look hot. That bitch had an cast iron tongue. She put a habanero in her mouth, no problem. Alright. So I don't know where I left off in the other video, part of the video, because it cut out because I had like too many videos on here, so I had to delete some stuff. But I was talking about just like everything that's been going on in the news has been, I guess, difficult but not surprising to me, because I feel like I'll just talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I do remember as a kid getting a lot more education about like the struggles people can face when they're marginalized. Alright guys, I don't know. I'm just gonna... Okay, I'm gonna turn down this heat. It's starting to burn. I hate it when I get burned shit out on the bottom. That's not good. The worst thing that could happen is if I have to trash this. I would be so mad. Alright, so I'm just going to dump this 1 can in here with the liquid because I feel like I kind of need it. This 1 liquid. Because I would have put liquid in anyway. Those are garbanzo beans. You can pick whatever beans you want to use. Then I'm going to do black beans. Get that spatula out of there. I'm going to keep that moisture too. I like to have at least 3 different beans in the chili. That's a lot of stuff in there. Here we go. Navy beans. Alright, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna clean up this fucking mess. Put this on here. We're gonna turn this down way low. And I don't know how long I'm gonna cook it, but I've got to check this every few minutes to make sure that I've got the better system for my canned foods, man. I just don't eat them that often. Ugh. All that junk, man. Yuck. Alright, you probably don't want to watch me clean my stove. Alright, so I've added the beans, and then I wound up adding like a can of stewed tomatoes. And now I'm going to start adding like some salt, because I want that to cook down. And I'm also going to add something in that,
whatever that place is called,
well, it's not real healthy. But I don't care, because it tastes good. And I'm not adding a huge amount of it.
Now, if you want to get in there and you want to, you know, take a Tommy gun and grab a shit.
Where is the sugar? There it is. Now, if I had like a banana or something that was really ripe, you could do that instead of what I'm about to do. You could also do juice or, you know, some kind of other fruit, which would give it like a Caribbean flavor. But what I'm doing is I'm adding in some raw sugar. Just because when you have like a really spicy dish, now mind you, this is like a half a cup for an entire pot of chili. But when you have like a spicy dish and maybe like, I don't know really how this tastes to me. It's super spicy. So I want to mellow it out with a little sweet. It's also, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of that paprika. I don't know if I'm going to be saving this chili too much. Definitely not going to be freezing it. I think I'll make another video making chili another day, maybe even this week. But let me just let that cook, and after it's cooked down, I'll taste it. But it's gonna take, like, I have it on low, and you could put this in a crock pot for like 3 or 4 hours. I'm doing this for like 2 on top of the stove, I think, so it's gonna be a while. Alright, so I've just added a bunch of garlic into here. I guess we're about a half hour into this cooking. It hasn't been that long. But there was an overpowering smell of this smoky paprika, and I don't want to smell that. I don't want that to be the only flavor, and you can really tell a lot of the way something is going to taste by how it's smelling. I know it's going to cook down anyway, so I just added a whole bunch of garlic. And it's cooking down good. I can't, if you look, you can't even see where the spinach is. Spinach cooks down to almost nothing. But it, it'll still retain some of the benefits you can get from eating cooked spinach. Anyway, we'll do that. Alright, so giving this another stir. It smells so much better. It smells so good now. I definitely like a more garlicky scent. I'm going to take a taste. God. Let's see. Alright. Hold on. Alright, so I just tasted it. It needs some longer time. I think it's going to need another half hour. Again, if you were doing with this in a crock pot, you wouldn't probably really need to lift this up to do anything with it. And I also have it on low. It's going to need to cook, I feel like. I don't know. I just don't taste enough of the richness that could be there yet. So I'll let it go for a little while longer. I used a lot of spices in there. You can literally see the spices I used. So I just feel like it needs longer saturation time. Checkity check. Do the checkity check, check, check. Checkity check, check. I think. Oh, I'm pretty sure, like. I do think 15 more minutes. So I'm just going to make some garlic bread in between that time. Maybe I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to make some garlic bread real quick. These are 2 slices of just bread I got at the bakery. It's like, I guess it's sourdough or rosemary loaf or whatever. Use any bread. You could use even like white bread that's sliced. It doesn't matter. Just having bread. That's all you need. It can be deluxe or it can be bargain basement. But what you need is extra virgin olive oil And then you just pour it over this. The reason why I'm doing like, hold on a second. I'm having an issue. Okay. Sorry. Now I've spilled olive oil everywhere. So I've just put olive oil in here. Let me do a little more. Since I have so much of it on the stove. This is good. This is on my... Oh, God. Okay. This is why I should just... Okay. So, you can see my spill. Anyway, there we go. This is, the, garlic powder. Okay. And then I want to put a little oregano on it too. And I tell you, I really feel like the flavors in this chili are more Italian anyway. Most of the time when I have chili, it's more, I got like a Mexican flavor to it, but this is more, just a little more mellow. Not as, I'm not even talking like spiciness. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I feel like the way it was cooked, the more boiling than necessarily charring, because that gives it like more of a authentic Mexican flavor to it when it's got like some caramelization to it, and that it'll not that chili is Mexican. I'm not saying that, but it's heavily influenced by Mexican cooking, and I usually have a better way of doing it. But this is, I'll still call it chili. It's not as good as I normally make. It's going to be a sweeter blend. It's going to be one I compare with rice. It's going to be something I'm probably going to wind up putting pasta into tomorrow, and then just finishing it up and giving what's left over to the dogs. And then I'll make a new one in a couple of days with tofu as well, but it'll be more caramelized. I will caramelize all the hell out of like the vegetables first, and then I'll add the tofu to it, and then you'll see like the best way to do it, because the flavor just gets in deeper with some safflower oil and the spices cooking that way. It just gets in better, and it's a higher heat. I don't know how to describe it. There's just something different to it. And then you compare with it. I have to turn this oven on. Then you compare with it, like, you want to take a look? You compare with it, like, tortillas and, like quesadillas and stuff like that. So I'll do another video on this later. I'll do the tasting, and like I gotta wait till the bread's done, and then we'll see what's happening. So it's good to do a video again. I don't know if I'm gonna keep vlogging every day. I think that's kind of weird unless I'm doing something interesting and I keep the video for like 10 minutes. I think that's all anybody needs to hear from me. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so the bread is done. I'm gonna break off a piece. It's a little oily. I need a napkin. A spoon. Alright, here I go. This is me. It is good. It tastes a little smokier than I thought it would. I really don't like the smoky paprika. I think it'd be better for like a barbecue. But I could see someone preferring this. The bread's good with it. It mellows it out. It mellows out that smokiness. Alright. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to block out my dirty dishes. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please share, subscribe. Check out some other videos. And if you make comments, well, I don't care if they're good or bad because it gets me points or whatever. No, I would prefer they just be nice and positive. So, have a magical day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.